I haven't even had breakfast. Let's put it back. There we go. Should be good. Enough. Realistically, what I can do is something I keep forgetting to do, but I just keep forgetting this. Okay. I'll be close to bit. This and we're good. Now we waited a little bit because it's the good morning chat. I've been giving it the good old 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Well, I'll give it 7 minutes. I'll give it a bit more because this time around because I technically started a little earlier. So I'm giving it a bit, just like 6 to 7 minutes instead. It's still gonna be a bit. Where? What the? Opa. Okay, 1 second, chat. I'll be right back. Come on. Done. Found it. I'm fucking. It was like right here. I had already put my hands behind, and it was really just right next to the computer. And I'm like, I didn't put the hand directly like see my hand here. It would be right on this side, like behind here, and it's like, oh great, it was there. Oh shit. Ridiculous. Well, it is what it is. I'll give it a little bit first. I love the music. I do love the music of this game, though. Like, it is catchy as hell. I'll give it that. Also, I still have my breakfast to eat, so. But yeah. It's healthy curiosity. Signing out in episode 1. Did not do that, obviously. For completion of episode 5. For completion of episode 1. AC22, AC22. Fire push from Sweet Balls to Suzato into the fire like for AC22. The woman pressure. That's interesting. I probably missed that now. Some of these achievements are weird. It's like, oh, I just check everything, which is fair. There's a lot of probably interesting dialogue. If I wasn't goddamn narrating all of it. Just a sec. Self food. It's hidden from you guys, so you didn't see this. Thankfully. Don't mind me. Well, that's what I'm using my 5 minutes for to first finish my breakfast. It's cereal if you're wondering. Well, not exactly cereal, but funny enough, I cannot actually eat cereal. Well, cannot is wrong. More like I should not. Definitely not. And I don't. Yeah. Because I keep passing my hand to the right side, like I keep hitting my phone, so it's like I keep changing this configuration every time. Could also do this. You know, what I could do while I wait for this. Let's get us into the game again. And I'll leave it there for now. You know what? I think the other music was better to stay on. Hopefully this time around, though, we do get out of the investigation part and get into the courtroom part this time around. At this point, we might as well just call this the Ace Attorney Sunday. Because it's what I do every Sunday now. Almost any. It should be quick. So if I remember correctly, I think this was the point where Gina was telling us all about what she did during case 3. I'm not completely wrong. This is what I get for only playing this game like once a week. Like, I have to remember what I did in the last session every time. Being fair though, I have a video of it, so I could have refreshed my memory that way. So that would be a good way to refresh my memory as well. Okay. Okay, chat. I gave it the 5 minutes. Now then, whoever's here is here, whoever is not, well, I'm sorry. But we must start this. And it must start now. Okay, let's go. Everyone's silent there. Oh, alright then. Blimey, give it a rest with them eyes, Iris. So come on then, fill us in. Who done it? Unfortunately, we don't know that yet. You don't say. You don't say. We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime. And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish. Oh yeah? Like what? Well, for example, the reason for you being here there in the first place. I think I know now why you broke into Winnie Banks that night. It looks like I'm going to have to take some evidence that clearly reveals the reason and thrust it in Gina's face. Or I could present it to her calmly, I suppose. Present it to her calmly. There's no need to just... One second. What is shit? How did this... more surprising. I feel like representation in court. We'll show it to her in a second. We already have the representation papers and other documents we need. All we have to do is hand them to the court clerk. That is, if you'll allow me to represent you in court tomorrow? Question. Nah, don't bother. Teeny. Rip them up and chuck them, would ya? Them representations paper or whatever they're called. This cell ain't fancy enough to have a pin. So, what will you do in court tomorrow? I'll be fine on my own. I don't think you will be. Look, it don't matter. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. This is one stubborn pickpocket. Yep. Well, let's present the thing to her before the reason why she went there. Right there, the manuscript. We found this in Mr. Windybank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris's latest story. Ah. Oh, right. Well, that's good then. Curiously, the storeroom at Windybank showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like. With one exception. The box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina? You broke open the box containing this manuscript last night. Eh? You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storm last night, isn't it? Ah! Oh boy. Ah! I can't. I can't do screams, unfortunately. Why don't you tell us what happened? Please. Where is this manuscript? Alright, yeah. The Baskerville story. It's the latest Sholmes adventure, right? But it ain't been printed yet. So I figured it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right? Oh, yes. At least 5,000 pounds. What? Why? So, you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you? No. How could you? What? Wait, no, hang on. Of course I weren't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do was find out if the mental script, or whatever you call it, really was there or not. That's the only reason I was in the place. For Iris's sake, isn't that right? We knew why you'd done it from the start, you know. Of course we did. But I knew you wouldn't do anything like that, Jeannie. I just knew it. Well, when I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you'd said the night before. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Bare-faced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling you, that mental script ain't at Windybanks. You'd soon see if you'd had a look. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Harley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean, I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know, even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Sad Iris is not the good... We don't want sad Iris, we want happy Iris. Oh, Jeannie, that was so sweet of you. Alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. Okay. Reason for breaking in. That list is getting longer. It wasn't because of Iris. That's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth, that's all. You wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest. If he'd really deposited the manuscript at Windybanks. It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. She's got a dad. Only she can't see him. And I reckon that's gotta be harder. That's why she writes her stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded to me anyway. Like to me anyway. Last night, when I was listening to what you were saying. Stories about Daddy. You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective, so much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner? Well, that's how I see it, yeah. Yeah. You're so thoughtful and so kind, Jeannie. Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we? Look, give it a rest, will ya? I hear all this chummy nonsense. You hear? I hate it. I don't trust no one, right? That's how I work. Because if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on. Scarpa. Nope. Denied. I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of that overcoat. Are some very suspicious red stains. What the hell happened to that overcoat? What? What? Why are you looking at me like that? I think it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to Gina now. Wait, are those bloodstains? So probably the blood samples? This? Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know it was blood yet. What? The blood, Mr. Naruhodo? You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So could it be blood that splattered from Mr. Wienieback when he was shot last night? Next, I'm beating around the bush here. Trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else. Hey, take it easy, Iris. Uh-oh. Don't move, Genie. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to shoot. Cough, cough. Well. Oh! Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh my. Oh my. What the? Only the weird thing is only the coat is plastered with blood. Forget the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Of course. The black color of the fiber was making the masking stains. That's why we haven't seen them until now. You know that's not how it should be. And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color, which matches one of the samples we've already collected perfectly. Yep. Now the question is, which one? The one... Oh, the Fry's Fire and Mason one. It's the blood from Fry's Fire and Mason. Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood? Aha, yes, it was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The victim of the murder case 2 months ago. I knew it. What? What the are you all on about? The victim? What do you mean? What do you mean? It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved. Yep. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaster, Mr. Mason, is revealed. Oi, would someone explain what's going on? Stop taking half a story. The truth of the omnibus case. We can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilded's overcoat. But in a trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul would rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I was about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have arisen from McGilded trying to pull the victim to his feet. Nope. No. If that was what had really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of the coat. The only explanation for the splattering of blood is that it splattered over McGilded's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I tried to run from the truth for long enough, but there's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilded. Mr. Naruhodo. That horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. I used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen? Bruno, did you believe him, though? Did you believe Mr. McGill that was innocent? That's kind of how a lot of trials. Yeah. Also, hey, Raphael, good morning. Kinda, yeah, maybe. I believed. Or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon. A weapon? A weapon. I did a single with the win week ticket. Got Kalisco for an A. Nice, congrats. You can now use more units. Technically. Well, that still doesn't save your... you can now use more units. Shenaniganry. You still can't do 20% busters unless you use a rush, but hey, you take what you can get, right? A lawyer's weapon. Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson. Valuable. You mean Kazuma-sama? Yep. Oh god, what voice did I give him way back then? I don't remember. What voice did I give Kazuma way back in the day? I don't know. I don't know either. I don't think I had specific voices at the time. Let's just go with something like... Listen, Ryunosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can know for sure what is the truth or what is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering belief? Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe, unwavering. We're going with that, I guess. What's funny, Gina? God, sounds like in this empire of Japan you come from, everyone must be soft. Soft? Well, come on, look at the mess it's got you into, believing in that Bok Trotter. Yes, I inadvertently helped the murderer walk free. Well, at least you learned your lesson, no? Now, hey? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. As soon as you let down your guard, you've had it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one, get hurt by no one. Gina, may I ask you something? What? I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representations made for tomorrow's trial? How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away. Are you really sure that's what you want? I bet that's what you want and all now, Mr. I'm a believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, a lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened. Well, obviously we trust her. Come on. At this point, it's very obvious. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial. Here? Are you half-baked? Not at all. You've not once admitted to committing a crime, have you? Yep, that is true. She has not actually said that once. What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth. Besides, you already revealed basically everything at this point. We might as well. Seriously, Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo. God damn. You're very narrow. Didn't you hear all of what I said before? I'm a born liar. Tibbs just stripped me off my tongue, and I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you into all sorts of trouble. Why would you ever trust me now? I just don't get it. Because? Why not, right? Gina? I do understand why you choose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there is more to this life than you yet realize. What do you mean? What do you mean? The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People won't ever let you down. It's true that I'm just a student of law, and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, and until my very last breath, I am completely on your side. What do you expect me to say to that? Aww. And it's decided. I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully. Do what you like. You Eastern Lot are... I don't know what you are. I don't get ya. Aww. Aww. Well, we got her to concur. We can now have an actual trial, I think. Gina's taking herself off to the back of her cell. She'd never admit it, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out alright in the end, I think. Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice. Miss Susato? Somebody is there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before. What? Who is it? Blimey, you're sharp, eh? I don't know who's talking. Oh, blimey, you're sharp, eh? I suppose you're using one of those mystic Japanese arts. Like your stealth I've heard so much about. If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector. Cranky! Oh dear me, I am most terribly sorry, Your Ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you. Man. How long have you been listening in on our conversation? Good grief! Listening in? No. I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave, though it was after hours. I assure you, Your Ladyship, I only just arrived this very minute, not a moment like earlier. That's all it is. Nothing untoward. Nothing at all. Cholesterol taking human form. Yep. Jesus. After hours? Is it that late already? So then, I'll humbly excuse myself now, Your Ladyship. Ta-da, toodaloo, cheerio, all the best. Bye, by and by. That's a lot of farewells, and not one of them appropriate for Her Ladyship. Oh, but I wanted to have a chat. I'm terribly sorry, but time is pressing at the minute. Oh, I see. That's a shame. If I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with sharpish, long story it will, well... Emergency? Lord Strongheart? Nothing! Forget I said anything. Anyway, I'm off! Alright, Georgie, if you have to, but let's chat soon. Delighted, charmed, can't wait, if you please, my pleasure. That's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere. There he goes. Georgie's so funny. He says such silly things. It's certainly entertaining to see an inspector of the police fawning to a 10-year-old girl. FBI, I would like to... Okay. FBI, I would like to raise a... Oh boy. But anyway, I wonder what this emergence is at the Supreme Court. must attend the Count Clerk's office now before it does. Yes, of course. But thank you, Mr. Sato. Actually, I don't think I understood what it said there. Wait, before it closes. Oh. Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruto. I shall meet you there later. Very well. Well then, we might actually get to see a courtroom today, chat. And so, our investigation came to an end. Sato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Sato-san will be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan. 16th April, 13 p.m. Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted. What about you, Sato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Sholmes was shot before our eyes. Gina was arrested. All on the back of the news that her father has fallen ill and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon. Thank you for your kind words. Oh boy. I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm. And yet, I seem unable to find the words to express any of them. I know exactly what you mean. Exactly what you mean. Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow. One final task? Ooh. Wait, can I move from here? Oh, I cannot. I'm stuck. Well, let's see what she has. Going back to Japan. Just 2 months since we arrived in London, but we've managed to establish this office. I was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret. I'm so sorry, Sato-san. It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts. I know we've only been here for a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel I've learned something. And what would that be? It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities. Facets? And like a jewel, the light plays off them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives. But we only see a small number of the total facets, and what is illuminated is only a part of the whole story. What lies in the shadows? What do these facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on, for as long as we live. That's so true. Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much, but I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear. That all the facets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything fits together. Naruhodo-san. I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark. Hey, I've been referenced. Okay, I'm joking. It's amazing to think it's been just 2 months. You've grown so much. Sorry? I've what? Oh, no. It was nothing. Unimportant. Tomorrow's departure. Do you know what time you will leave London in the morning? Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 p.m. AM, not PM. I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station. Absolutely not. Sorry? I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow. Gina's trial. Yep. God, they sure love making their trials the immediate next day of the crime. 1 to 2 days away from when the crime happened. Seriously, goddamn. I'll say one thing about the Ace Attorney world. God, they really give no time to investigate the case properly, the crime scenes. It's like, investigate a crime scene, immediately go to the courtroom. Like 5 seconds later, just boom. I know it's obviously this is not supposed to be full realistic, only partially, I guess. Well, definitely only partially. Anyways, let's keep going. Shall we, chat? Yes, I know, but every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. Good point. You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try. One final task. You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What did you mean? Oh my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this. What is that? Some huge bundle of documents. That is a big bundle. It's my notes. From the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus. The McKilded case. It seems to me that this case of Mr. Windyback's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you. Damn. With everything else she's had to think about, Sato-san still managed to do this, and all neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting. Thank you, Sato-san! It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina. Thank you so much, Susato-san. I will do my best to use it wisely. I said wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Sorry? I didn't quite catch what you said there. Oh, ignore me. I was just bumbling to myself. The McGilded case notes have been entered into the court record. Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Miss Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room. Susato-san, I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night. Wait. There's something I need to say. Yeah. Ow. What was that? A secret technique of mine. The Susato shutdown. Shutdown? It was just a Susato toss. Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears. Or Susato-san. Susato-san don't want to go either, but she has no choice. She has to go because of her father, but she doesn't want to go either. Susato-san. It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted. And yet, the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes. And as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in Lone played for my mind. Eventually, my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. Good night, chat. Hello. I know it's morning, but either way, good morning anyways. Yeah. Good night, chat. Going to sleep. '17th April, the small hours, St. Sinner's Hospital, warrant free. Okay. The only person I know is in the hospital is basically it's home, so yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. It has to be Holmes, right? Yep. It's Sherlock Holmes. Star, yep. Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Oh, wait, that's not him. Thank you so much. It has been an honor and pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. Whoever... Okay, it wasn't Sholmes talking. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell and Godspeed. My dear madame. Oh, Susato. It was Susato was talking with him. Oh, okay. To be continued. Well, chat, that's the end of our trip for the day. I'm joking. No, we're not done yet. Hell no, you think I'm done after freaking finally getting out of the investigation phase? I hope. I hope I'm out of the investigation phase. Jesus. When I awoke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. Oh, and so became an even longer day than the last. One that I would remember for the rest of my days. No falling asleep for you, Raffaello. 17th April, 9:42 a.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Oh god, that's still a word for me. Good morning, Gina. Oh boy. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. So where's your friend then? Sorry? You know, her in the fancy dress. So Sarto, or however you say it. I don't know. Ah, Miss Susato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that, are ya? Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off. It's fine. It's not as though Miss Susato and I won't meet again. One day. Even so... But you, Gina, you have a much more problematic case. If you get guilty, there's a very high chance we're not seeing each other again. So, you know, I'd say he's got his priorities straight. You only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Yep. Good morning, you two. Who is it? Iris? Good morning, you two. How are you feeling, Jeannie? Did you manage to sleep? No. Oh, she brought Waga High with her. Oh, this is too precious. This is too precious, chat. No. This is way too precious. Just put this in the goddamn weird, like, cute overload thing. I don't fucking know. I don't know this about the goddamn music. Cute overload. Iris, what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Waggy. Waggy. Great way to show your support, kitty. That was too much cuteness in one bundle. Let him have a nose around. What harm can it do? Oh, that reminds me. I brought a paper on the way here. What are we gonna... Okay. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Bruno? Genie? Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Nah, always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. Record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move. Huh? The bad news was a weather report. Well, I hope that Susie made her way to Dover and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port. Gosh, yes. Alright then, so what's the good news? Hopefully it's something good. Well, the rain is forecasted to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, I should be able to make up the time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it? I couldn't give a monkey's, really. If only all good news cancelled out the bad. I know, right? And look, the trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in big purse plunder. See? See? How do you like that? Well, let them say what they want. See if I can. I can't. I can't because you're covering your face. Don't worry, Bruno will soon show everyone that this headline is nonsense. I will. And then, in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be... Charles Diver is dauntless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Bruno? Oh, yes. Let's hope so. That actually, I'll be fair, that is not a half-bad title. I'll give them props. That is actually pretty decent. Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Didn't work, did it? It's like she was still here. Just wait. Just... Oh, Iris, you're too precious. Iris is too precious for this world. Good luck then, Bruno. I'll do what I can. Hmm? Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still... Drop the bazooka, please. Iris, put the bazooka down, please. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement. I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest. But... Thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you. Oh yeah, Iris. Yes, G? Well, I was wondering, is all, about Sholmes. Did they fix him up alright? Yes, the operation was a great success, but Early still hasn't come around yet. I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard. Send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Oh, right. No Susato-san and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today. That Gina is innocent of this crime. Damn, we really are on our own this time around. We don't get Mr. Susato's help, and Sholmes is still in the hospital. This really is, this basically is like you have no choice in this one. Okay, we really are by ourselves this time, chat. Well, wish us luck, I guess. Mr. Lestrade, counsel for the defense. The trial is about to begin. Let's make our way into the courtroom. It's time then. Yes, let's go. Gina, Iris. Let's go, Gina. Iris. What are you doing, Bruno? Oh boy. God, my nose today is evil. Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. Hopefully, yes. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that. Kazuma still standing tall in the shadow. Still standing tall in our memories. And being a badass in the process. 17th April, 10 AM. The Old Bailey Court. Here we go, chat. Oh, I recognize one of the jurors. Well, more than one, but still, one of them is... Oh. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. The trial shall determine the guilt of or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to give their willingness to proceed. Objection. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. Lord Van Zeeks. My lord. My lord. Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service? It was some 5 years ago, my lord. Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced someone unexpectedly. And here you are again today. Are there some circumstances of which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior? In what one might describe as your former life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? Yet today you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess, I find it more than a little befuddling, counsel. There are two types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. He means Mr. McGilded. You defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. Yes, I just about managed to work that out. Thank you. Magnus McGilded. If I know what a monster was, I never would have defended him. Objection. And secondly, even more loathsome. Those willy scoundrels masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East. The Nipponites. What? Did he really just say that? Well, racist much. You mean you now, Runo? I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? That torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeek's eyes. That directed solely at me? Or was he talking about all Japanese people? An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zeeks. Still, the judiciary welcomed the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors. Your lordship is too... Oh my god. Objection! Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant? Oh, this guy. Former lieutenant of British Army here, don't you know? Chaps like me were born ready. Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and a clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely everything, and I'm ready for it. Oh god. I don't understand it. I can't have left it in there. Not possible. Could I have? Oh god, not this zone again. Woman indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop. Oh. Wait a second. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Towers. One second, haven't I seen that guy? Is something wrong, Bruno? Oh, not exactly. It's just... I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Actually, I'd say all of them. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? I like to believe that it's just a case of, we can only make so many characters in one time. We can only make so many jurors. But it is quite strange that you're just choosing at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know? So I've been led to believe. Something tells me I'm being duped. Yep, basically. Very well. Now, Lord Van Zeeks, the court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. Object. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Windebank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near instant death. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner, his report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say. Yeah, I couldn't even react in time. Prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord. Indeed. The court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. The autopsy report has been entered into court record. Crime scene photograph has been turned into court record. We'll check them later. I now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles spawned to. 1 second. Oh boy. A windowless a windowless room with single point of entry. A door to the main shop that was found locked. In the sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Windebank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Well, that is it. Nothing much to say. Isn't that really the girl a pickpocket anyway? She's one of those filthy drabs that live in the slums in the East End. Oh well, it was only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands, then. What are the juries waiting for? It's guilty as hell. We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. I learn Nipponese, friend. It is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Ost's music, I love. I love this music. Conveniently, this appealing act of murder. Oh, object did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. Good grief. Oh boy, that was terrible. Good gracious. Good gracious. I'm forgetting the voices now. After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pickers or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth. The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Zeeks. At once, my lord. Crime scene floor plan has been entered into court record. Windy Max Revolver has been entered into the court record. We are getting a lot of evidence. Jesus. This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Bruno. I think that's because it has. Oh. Oh, just off of the cape. Let us begin. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses of the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windybank on 16th April of this year. Of this year. Wait. Braxton? Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Where do I even go with this? Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is, Betty. Professional Betty. Name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupation, Sammy Jim. Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector. That's right. We're what they call the Free Skulking Brothers. Fucking Mario and Luigi. And Gregson's just there like, I'm not getting in on this. No. What are you looking at me like that for? Don't lump me in with you lot. God blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? It's our older bruv. Nice contact with him we have. So we're scouting every shaded corner of the capital. And then last night, we come across you. The very spit of the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? Here he's Nash, he's the very spit of him. So I decided and then what we was gonna do. We was gonna call you. Big bruv Skull. Wait, Skulky? Big bruv Skulky. Wait, was that? Who said that? Yeah, it was a small one. Come on, live it out, you two. Sulky Skulkin. And that's before he's run out of chips. Well then, Inspector Sulky's Gregson. Beg your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand. Objection. Skulking brothers are currently under arrest. You know what? I'm just gonna use the voice I wanted from the beginning. The Skulking brothers are currently under arrest. My lord, on suspicion of theft. Thieves are they? These three. No, my lord. Beg your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot. Two nights ago. Objection. 2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment we tend to burn. and in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. By Jove, you mean to say, what an unextraordinary coincidence. Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbroker, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. Order! 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 The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep this chance on the straight and narrow. Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. Mr. and Mr. Skulk, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question, and what exactly you saw. Happy to. Cause the skulking's never skulking. Oh, that one hurts the soul. Oh, that one hurts. God, this is a sheer level of bad joke. Get out of it. Illegal entry. We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and the gaff's door was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in, it was. But once we got inside, blimey lummy, we heard the gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that. Nice and quiet. Not so much. Least obvious feeps. Yeah, exactly. Oof. Wow. Not obvious at all. Terrible coincidence, it would seem. The precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside, and within, only the victim and the accused were found. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. This is not looking good, is it? Counsel? Yes. What's the matter, Runo? Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. Jesus Christ, where to start? Cross-examination. Time to press everything, because that's how we play these games. Hold it! The front door of Windy Vex was ajar, you say? What time of night was this? Must have been about 1, right, Ringo? Yeah, I'd say so. Right, Sulky? Right, Sulky? How would I know? Boy would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town. Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true. Ain't that right, Ringo? I'm not so sure, Nash. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Sulky, the old bucker? Leave me alone. There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. And when this gentleman ventured into the open establishment, The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, already had the muzzle of her gun and trained on the unfortunate victim.
Objection.
That is pure conjecture. Perhaps, but it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder. Simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside. Right, that's what happened. Did it really happen that way? Begging for us to go in, it was. What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in? Well, God moves in mysterious. Oh my god, now we have a Blues Brothers, god damn it, reference. Now it's a goddamn Blues Brothers reference? Jesus Christ. Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say, don't they? Don't they, Ringo? They do, Nash, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon. God's will often presents itself as the whim of thieves, it doesn't. You wanna know where I'm dead sure of that. It weren't, Nash, it weren't. Like we said at the time, you don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it. It was a sign that our long-lost brother was inside. They're not very good liars, are they? No. Well, you can't deny it. That is to a bloke what looks like just like a brother. I said, cut it out. Those chips are getting a jumping today. Isn't he always like this, Mo?
Hold it.
Okay, let's see. A gunshot, you say? Just the one. Are you sure about that? Yep, just the one, Governor. I can swear to that. It was Nash, it was. Ain't that right, Prep? The firearm used belonged to the victim itself. Yes, Mr. Windybank always used to leave this gun lying around on the counter. Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. That makes sense. Mr. Windybank always say you only have kept a single bullet loaded. That's true. I remember him saying that as well. So we can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon. Yes, my lord, we can. And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful. Great, this is going amazingly. Oh, the door was locked from the inside, okay. You mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. Thank you. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one other door, that of the storeroom. Of course, there was only a little oil lamp burning, not much to see by. And the door was hidden behind a curtain and all. God, some of these are so hard to read. I swear to God, the ones that go into the really weird English, especially for the poor, like the generally poor population English, right? In this case, like, they are very hard to read. That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door? Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think. Oh, well, your turn to have it, Ringo. Well, Nash, yeah, I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normally. Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is of the former. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night. Somehow I still doubt they were trying to help. Thank you, counsels. Thank you, counsels. So I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be... Proceed, witnesses. This judge is actually pretty decent. He keeps the thing on track.
Hold it!
You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? Well, it was Bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was. Yeah, she was. In that time, you pulled me dukes out of me Lucy locket. Oh, god damn my life. So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left. Nice and quietly, you say. That's alright, Governor. Now we ain't more than violence. Beats-loving nibblers we are, not budgers. Yeah, Nash, we on. Never even pulled me dukes out of me Lucy pockets. So, you'd clearly like us to believe. Eh? Come again? As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say? Ah! Blimey, Governor! You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway? It was. Ah! Why the bleeding Nora? Didn't you mention that before? You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Sherlock Sholmes. Shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I hear that, actually, there was a room he'd been rushed to the hospital. Great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, the pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crimes. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. Yep. And when searched, the firearm was indeed found in their possession. Yep. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. Yep. The prosecution invites his lordships to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. Jesus. No, I learned Nipponese. Yes. Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, these are the telltale signs of spent powder on the gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime, under scrutiny in the strike. Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there. Oh yeah, objection! So that was the voice. However, the rest of us in the courtroom were... It's too much like Gregson. Fuck me. Now I'm just sticking with what I got. However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. The defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim. We shall have no choice but to toast your competence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Windy Banks that night. Court demands that all claims are from of clear proof. What evidence shows that these women will have firearm in the pawnbroker shop then? Let's see. Let me examine this. Ammunition still loading 5 of these roller 6 cylinders. Yeah, which tells us that only a single shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet did hit early, in fact, isn't it? Yes, it happened almost as soon as we walked in through Winnebago's door. I'll make those brothers pay. Doesn't like there's anything special about it. Is there anything showing something here or no? That's the scene. That doesn't seem like it. Single bullet, no other autopsy findings. There from the bullet entered the body from the back. Okay. It's today's papers. That's the McGilded case. That's the crime scene. Pawnbroker's ticket, a redemption ticket issued from the pawnbroker owned by the winner. So the only thing I think I can take is like, because we have this, there's even a bullet there. I guess this? The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth have you there, Counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do. How arrogantly Nipponi's. Well, anyway. We analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. You claim to have the evidence the court is demanding there. Yes, my lord. No more dallying then, Counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? I mean, this one literally has a bullet shot in the fucking calendar. What is that? Explain. It's a photograph taken at Winnebago's pawnbroker on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Yep. Like, come on. Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Yep. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Winnebago's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred 1 hour after midnight. But this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar and been set to the 16th. That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes that this is credible evidence that the witness did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. Nah. That one is actually on top of a box. Okay, fair enough. I actually wasn't expecting to see a box today on the courtroom, but okay. Order! Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zix? Yep, he's like... Just takes a sip of the wine. Just... If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? Kaboom. But you'll forgive me for flinging my unload chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, those brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies, they opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the streets. Eh? Take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup. We had a deal. You're gonna get into them details. Tell him, Sulky. Set the bloke straight. I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? And they knew their testimony will almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. Yeah, no shit. It's like they were obviously criminals. You would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what do you refer, Lord Van Zix? As had been established, at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brothers' gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Scholz, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. Ah! In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Winniebank at all. So that's it. We've been debated. They are missing every single one of us. That's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, Ash. We didn't. That's what I reckon. We didn't, Ash. We didn't. That's what I reckon. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and, let us not forget, attempted murder. Quite a catalog, fellas? Went in for it now, bruv. Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. It would seem the man patronized the power in question somewhat rare. Where is he going with this? I have a bad feeling about this. Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric? Says whom? Van Zix. Van Zix does. Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim shop. Oh. That's one of Early's red-handed recorders. What is that, Watson? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thing were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m., 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion. Yep. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim shop. Jesus Christ. The film costs have to be ridiculous. If I may refer to the court... If I may refer the court to the point of the premises, their respective positions are here and here. Oh, no wonder we never saw the actual thing. Like, the camera... Our camera wouldn't see them. You say this camera is produced a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducts his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers. On the night... On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. Hey, that's a bit of right talk, bruv. Love the skulking. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? It must have been just after 1. Alright, bruv. Must have been, Nash. Must have been. Yeah, just gone 1. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Oh boy. Good lord, it's the defendant. Miss Juno Lestrade. Oh boy, that's not good. As the court can clearly see, The accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his store. Yeah, I'm going with this voice. I give up on the rougher voice. Wait, one can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. Photograph of Gina. Oh boy. I don't believe it. Jeannie. In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have called Mr. Windybeck. Killed Mr. Windybeck, not called. Ah, boy. I don't know who's talking. I say my lord. I have a bad feeling about this. I say my lord. Okay. What if I might put in a word at this point? Go ahead, Mr. Ford. Took a valley bullet to the knee in the Battle of May 1880. 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service, sadly. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploit of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carry on the battle after retirement, you see. The battle of daily life, Mike. And here I am now, leading a small squadron, 6 men, all good and true. And we'll all go down together, you mark my words. One for all, and all for one. Okay. Get to the point! The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement. Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Garrett Squadron's position, sir. What? No! It's too soon to make a judgment in it. Silent report for the court, man. On the double. His Lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions too. I think you'll understand the truth is as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it. I wouldn't have left it in there, I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember. I don't think it's... Situation clear, stop. No room for doubt, stop. Truth now undeniable, stop. I am very sorry, my brothers. They are unlucky. So, very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her learning in this matter. Now to consider it verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Oh boy, here we go again. We just started and we immediately have to deal with the mechanic. It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning on that photograph. It must be the definite evidence that Gregson mentioned. Can I just check the photograph real quick? Like, that is definitely Gina, though. Like, there's no other two shits about that. There's a magnifying glass. Oh, hey, there's the cat. Oh, look at that doggo! Look at the doggo! There's a doggo picture there, chat. Look at that. Pretty cool. Oh, it's the... Sorry. Okay, I'll stop now. Let's keep going. But Genie didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a submission examination. Very well, the court grants permission. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. We shall proceed immediately with the submission examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. Judicial findings. Okay. The jurors' contentions. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketini. As a housemaid, I should like to see all 50 eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated. I think you'll find that if you look at that photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out. If I have left it indoors, I should think there will be repercussions by now. I should think there will be repercussions by now. Mind made up, stop. Global radio transmission of verdict to follow, stop. In motherland we say never judge them by words. Judge by head. I'm convinced brothers are innocent. Huh? The circumstances of the crime and the evidence to indeed implicate the defendant rather perhaps. The storeroom locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone, and in the accused's hands the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention the sprint. Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the bally trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear, early scammers were supposed to help, not hinder. I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But Gina did not shoot Mr. Windyback. Which means there's more to the situation than we've yet to see. Agreed. You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the submission examination. Goes well. Hope for the best, I say. Here we go. The defense's rebuttal. Which means press everything again.
Hold it!
Okay. You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Garrett, aren't you? Really must stop meeting like this. Ah, you're that lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn up for the books. Yes, right early in time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Good to know they reference it. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Can't be denied, I suppose. Curse of the Garrett house was the talk of the town after that business. I just moved out and I couldn't get a bally salt to take up the taxes. Oh. And I had a heart to break the news to Jody yet. Bad enough that the old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did do rather a lot. But not for us, that's for dash certain. I suppose not. Of course. There can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here. Obviously. Obviously. But honestly, I really wish you'd pay more attention to the trial, and less to juror number 2. Oh yeah, you can... Oh... That's why it just keeps, like, looking to the side. Okay.
Hold it!
Polishing the bench, I see. Again. The maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to the market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pickpockets, and crossmen, the scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps? Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these great important goals. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes. That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rand's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London's streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. Could you actually see it, chat? I mean, we've already seen Herlock Sholmes with a tiara. At this point, if you saw Herlock Sholmes in a maid outfit, You know what? I'm gonna stop my line of thought there, probably for the best. I stop there right now and not go any further with my thinking. He'd rock the maid outfit. You know what? I could actually see it. You know what? Fair enough. Yeah, he'd probably rock the maid outfit outright. You... Okay, great ace attorney, get to it. Get Herlock Sholmes in a maid outfit. Pronto. We must find out how Herlock Sholmes would look in a maid outfit. That has to happen now. Mr. Sholmes, a maid. It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. Minor detail. It was the two brothers in the stem who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. Minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway. Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement. Okay, so that was necessary. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective. Okay, at least she minded her own thing. We'll just pop out. Let's see. What do you mean? Look at the photograph in stereo. Sorry. What? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally, it looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously. But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is if you look in the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Oh, how did you know? Let's call it a lucky guess. It never gets old, seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary. It's captivating. It's the height of modernity. Of course. Oh yes, I think you'll find that the stereoscope is here to stay. New perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. If only it could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. But no. Now, this one is a weird one, because what is he talking about? Oh, no. God damn it. There we go, press. What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? Keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that. Oh, sure. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon. A surgeon? That totally passed me by. Of course, people conducting surgery in this country are considered to be doctors. Oh no. Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field. So, what is it that you think you've left behind? Oh, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest. See, I was operating on someone yesterday, this kind of thing went in through the abdomen. And when I'd finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere. What? Didi, surely not. Oh god, don't tell me you forgot the scalpel inside of No, 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 no. That's bad. That's really bad. Exactly. Surely not. No, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside of Pharaoh's belly? No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter. That's exactly my concern. And seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up, Miss Elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure. I'm sure you need to be more sure. Well, we're getting nothing out of that one, aren't we? Stop. Okay, let's see what you have to say about this. Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete this journey. But now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electrical signals. Thousands of miles of cable have been laid along the ocean bed, connecting the entire world. Thousands of miles of cable? On the ocean bed? It makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You are well informed, young lady. But cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop. And just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmission is the future. Stop. Messages carried over airwaves, four corners of globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear out your fingers. Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological revolutions. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle. I can't understand them. I really can't. They're just silly toys. Oh boy. Well, might as well pursue, shall we? Juror number 3. Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but... What? You perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark. As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do. Say it again. Go on. I dare you. Goodness, are you talking to me? I think you just might be. Yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh? Absolutely. I mean, really. A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. Oh god, I can't do a voice for that one. You just don't know. Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a kind of scene that you could view through a stereoscope, they could reveal hidden clues you've never even noticed before. What? Have you got any, Bruno? Any piece we could look at with a stereoscope? We have technically these two, right? But of the crime scene itself, I don't think we have any. We don't really have the crime scene ones, but we do have the tickets, right? How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think.
Take that!
The one... I was wrong. I can't actually think of anything we could use at all. What? Really? Oh dear, I think maybe I need to have a stereoscopic look at your brain sometime. What's that supposed to mean? Oh goddamn, we're gonna have to repeat the whole thing again, aren't I? Or is it...
Hold it!
Maybe I have to do something else first, though. Well, might as well give it a shot, right? With the Gina photo, right? Maybe? I mean, I don't have 2 photographs. I mean, there's a billion of them. I don't know, this? I mean, it's the best thing we got, really. Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can. Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be like, just give me 1 more print and I'll amaze you all. I don't know, this. I don't think I have another one. This? Wait, sorry. What do you mean, 1 more print? Oh dear, oh dear. Don't you have these in the forest? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? Oh no. What? You need 2 photographs for a stereoscope, remember? Yep. You know, 1 for the left eye and 1 for the right. Yeah, slight issues. Oh yes, I remember now. But the print we have from the pawnbroker is just a normal photograph. No. I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints. Thanks for the friendly explanation. Well, if we obtain your print at some point later in the trial, you can always show it to this young man then. Yep. I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me. Let's get things back on track, shall we, Council? Shall we, Council? So, we keep that, at least information-wise. Now, your turn. What do you got, buddy? Please tell me you're not villain Bolshevik, the Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary? Duh. I believe there is such a rumor. It's just a rumor. As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like wishes could be. Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat. And which glove fits? Good day. I'm visiting London for sightseeing. I'd like to take the bus to Crystal Tower. Right, that didn't sound staged at all. Do forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like it's just criminal all the time was very, very painful. Please do not, people do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they do. The Skulking Brothers? Duh. Maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop. They have done nothing wrong. That is all I want. I want to say. The Skulking Brothers did nothing wrong that night. Alright, well, first of all, that's one not so little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Mario? The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London's town, aren't they? Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary? I wish I knew. So we're all like, we don't know. If I can't change the minds of more than half of the 6 jurors, trial will be over. But we know that Genie would never shoot anyone. Yeah, so we need to find the contradiction of what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. Must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence. I think I have 2. At least. Not you, though. Stop looking at me at juror 2. Yeah. I think her can be pitted against 6.
Objection.
Which, because they both These two statements clearly contradict each other, even though they have nothing to do with Gina whatsoever. Good lord. Good lord. Counsel, explain yourself. Oh my statement. Contradictory. Contradict. C-O-N. Juror number 6. You've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick. I have mouse. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulking brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Shums in the abdomen, I understand. Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. Abdomen. Sir? Sorry, my English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear. Forgive me, I did not. Here it is word. Abdomen. Part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker. Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again? So, you are telling me these brothers look like criminals would like. Said before, we never done nothing. The truth is they shot detective. Duh, this is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Line is wrong, especially when lie is said by person who looks like criminal. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. This means, when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also a big fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough. I trust no one. It's not the mouse's fault, though, sir. You can leave the mouse be. Not done anything bad. I must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene itself. I'm afraid that won't be possible. Yes, it is, Bruno. Easily. Sorry? The prints from Early's red-handed recorder. Ah! You compare the print that pictures Ginny and the next print from half an hour later. You'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. QE, Mr. Prosecutor. Tut. Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a submission examination of all times. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the store. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and similarly heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' flight. So this was taken after Early was shot then. As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken. It's not exactly equal though, I can tell. The lamp is broken. That does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print. The lamp is broken. So the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You were right. I did not understood situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial. Oh! Well, that was easy. Yay, we got one. That's something, right, chat? We got one. Yay, well done, Bruno. The balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. And if I can do that, we just might turn the situation in our favor still. Thank you, Counsel. Continue with the submission examination. And kindly hand that new photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence. Now we have another photograph. Now we can go do the thing. Another print in the court record. I wonder if I can make use of that. Yes, now we can go back and do that. Oh, shit. Misclick. Well done. Presser. Okay, now we just go through all of this again. God damn. The only issue sometimes when you do play this game is like, if you screw up or do something in the wrong order, then you have to go through all this dialogue again, do this, let's pursue again. Okay, now we go get the photographs. Get him, let him have his rage mode activation. He's going Super Saiyan. He's going stereoscopic Super Saiyan. Okay, I'll stop now. Going stereoscopic Super Saiyan. Stereoscopic. Either way, you get the point. Now we present this, and then we present the other picture. And now he wants a second picture. This one.
Take that!
Alright, these two prints were both taken with the same camera in Windy Banks on the night in question. Yeah, yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer, do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the positions of some objects. Then, when your brain merges the two images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it were depth. Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects in the two pictures that's really important. So, what happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? No. Obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene three-dimensionally, anyway. Oh! Of course, now I see. I think the young girl has discovered the secret. I have. Oh my god. God damn it, Iris, please. Stop. You're too adorable. Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me? And when y'all look at these pictures, two pictures from Early's camera, Runo. Go on. Okay. And you see there's a really obvious difference between them. Of course there is. There are two people in the first and no people in the second. Well, yes, you can see that straight away, but now try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions. Alright, I'll give it a go. To start with, you have to cross your eyes and then try to make the two pictures overlap exactly. I am not doing this again. Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Yeah, my vision isn't good anyways, that's not a good idea. Wait. Well, you managed to see it properly, Runo. Yes, I saw it. What's going on with these two pictures? Some of the things on the counter sort of jump out at you. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it happen. I cannot. Vanzik's just like, how the hell did everyone else is just like, has the two pictures and does the cross-eye thing. Vanzix is like, I'm not dealing with this shit. I have the fucking instrument to make this easy. Yes, that's it, you see? That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes. Other amazing power? Is someone going to explain this black magic, man? Why do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that, hmm? think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope. As I said before, if you try to look at two identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's the slight shift in the position of certain objects that lets you see the pictures three-dimensionally. In other words... Oh! Yeah, there's like... You can tell immediately, but like if you look very closely, you can see the picture on the right. The things up there are slightly to the right. They're all in the same position, but they're all slightly to the right of where they were originally. Even though at first glance, if the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures, outside of the lamp being broken, this shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions. Yes, there must have been. So why, though? No, hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. But why the devil does the shift between the two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. What? Me? Me? I haven't the first idea. You know, Runo, it's quite simple. It is? Think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 AM. Then 30 minutes later, the second photo was taken. But the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Yep. Zookers! Someone tampered? New information, stop. Not to mention in testimony so far, stop. Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this submission examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? I suggest you might know. Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost instance on the counter. Them? Like, obviously it makes no sense. Wouldn't have been these two either, obviously, so... Them? Present one of them. It was the witnesses currently in the stand, the Skulkin brothers. Yep. Wait. This does not agree with what brothers said in testimony. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from Lucy Lockets. I've never said there's dukes meaning hand and Lucy Lockets meaning pockets. But is this another lie? Is this what you are saying? Yes, I'm afraid so. Now hold on there a minute. You can be sure of that. I quite agree. The accused is common pickpockets after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely. And why exactly? As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Wingham to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrades' interest lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. Skulky brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony. Yep. But the accused is a pickpurse. Common gutter trash. I look any further for the wrongdoer here. Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madame. No better, in fact, worse than a pickpurse. I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves? Well, shit. Well, shit. I, for one, would like to hear more from that shitty pair. Wait a second, did he just... did he... wait, buddy! This... Why did he... He just like... He didn't even do this, just... Bonk! What the hell was that? You okay there, Mum? You okay there, mister? Like, do you need... you okay? That must have kind of hurt a little bit. For you to make that noise, it must have hurt at least a little bit. Can you all see? Can you all see now? Oh god. I think you'll find Serix's arm playthings, using their extraordinary potential firsthand. There's another one. He's just like, okay. Wholeheartedly, stop. Must purchase after trial, stop. We'll return over your Regent Street, stop. Oh boy. That's 4. Well, that's more than enough already, so trial keeps going. Well, it would seem this trial is yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen declare that English should be the might skills of justice. I hereby call the submission examination to a conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And I order this trial to continue. Realistically, this probably should stop at 3, but oh well. Yay, well done. Oh, by the way. What? What? You should hold on to this, Bruno. You never know when it might come in useful. Twice in one try would be unusual, surely. But alright. Stereoscope. Yay. Lord Van Zeeks, you will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them. I'm sure they won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. God, Van Zeeks looks so good in that. I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night, at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. Hopefully not. That's the whole point of this whole thing. To be continued. Whew. God damn, I've been going at this. I've been going at it for a while. Chat today is a little more on the quiet side today, huh? Being fair, there's not much to say while doing this, and I understand, probably. Or to talk about in these cases. Realistically, I'm just basically reading a story, so to speak, at this point in time. Kind of goes against the point of doing a Twitch stream, but at the same time, I'm not actually usually sure what to talk about in these. I don't know. I still like playing it this way anyways, but bit weird. But oh well. Okay. Whew. Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. Oh, they are sweating, aren't they? Hey, Gregson. How you doing, buddy? You still there? Greg's still here. I presume you heard the defense counsel submission examination. Oh, yeah, Governor. I did, Gov. I did, Gov. I did. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. God, blimey! This is going to be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windy Banks. Well, it was Bedlam soon as, wasn't it? It was, yes, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me duct out of me look-see pockets. However, that was a lie. You brothers. God, blimey! On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. We never done nothing of the sort. How'd you figure that out? Well, looks like the brothers are not always in sync here. We'll now give formal testimony once again. Tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and this time you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chance of ever seeing the light of day again. Yep. You're kind of screwed at the rate we're going. Gotta eat now. Okay, man. Have a good lunch. Good lunch. I'll be here for a bit more. Still. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. Say no more, Gov. You idiot. We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach, we'll peach. We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach. Alright, we did knock a few things over. But we run the rifling out of nothing. It was when we heard the... when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump, and all that stuff went flying. Look, man, you didn't have to give me a fright. We was thinking the shoot could come out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it in Scalper, straight into him in the black. We couldn't have shut the bone broker, see? Never even had a chance, did we? So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Windenbach's corridor on the night in question. Not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash, that's right. It's more like we tidied up, yeah. Sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbroking under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked flat on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. Can't you make it sound a bit more cutthroat? It can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Windybanks that night. There's more to the testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. Hey, Gregson. Gregson is still just there, chilling on the side. Love it. Illegal entry, the whole truth.
Hold it!
If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place? Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't, Nash, we ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good. No good. Well said, Ringo, the old China. We don't land ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landing yourselves in even more trouble. That's rotten luck. That's rotten luck. Says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses. Explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's camp? We never ransacked nothing. Right, yes, right. Right, yes, right. More like we tidied up that place up. Sorry. So what you're saying is... the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much, you knocked all those things off the counter. Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on. Look, it was down, alright? Blimey, why did Granny would have woken up at that bang. Big Bro here screamed like a blooming baby and fell over on the counter. Knocked over a lot of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. That got tangled in some marionette. What knocked over the picture frame? What knocked them scales on the floor? God damn it. You've really mastered working quietly then. What the heck? Me grand would have been scared back into it could have had a clatter like that. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some.
Is that right?
I mean, it was quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, BAM! Oh?
Excuse me.
Gregson! Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. No, something to add about their testimony. You seem to react just now at what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it. Only... Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind? As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night. And they gave then told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. Uh-oh. They fucked up. Did it? You claim you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, fellas. I discovered the witness's test has been any more sloppy than it has full proven to be. I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy. We'll get it right this time. That's it, yeah. It's all coming back to me now. Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds. Sirs. Right you are, Gov. Right you are, Gov. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!" Wait, what?
Hold it.
So, in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously. We did, Gov, we did. Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun. Bam. Kind of thing. A career in acting tragically missed. You know, they probably could have done that. And where the voices come from? Could you tell? Of course we could. From the other side of that door behind the counter was. From the storeroom where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Winger. On me granny's life, course it was. On his granny's life, course it was. So that would mean that you both knew Mr. Winback and the sound of his voice. So that would mean what? What, Dash? What? Any ideas? Any ideas? Yes, Consul, indeed it would. No, we didn't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny when that bloke in the friendship club is giving us the evil eye? If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true. On me granny's life, on granny's life it is. On his granny's life, it must be. It's a good job his granny's dead. Jesus. Summarized. Immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you didn't hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop. you make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget we tied it up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it, the bloke who owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Wait, what? He was holding the gun? You're saying that Mr. Winman had a gun in his hands? Oh yeah, I bet it was a sight, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other. Must have got pretty heated. I mean, just before he shot it out, we heard the geezer say, "If you don't want to get shot." Didn't really sound like he meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Windyberg was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping. He'd rarely put a bullet in someone's head if required. That's someone being himself, of course. Good grief, extraordinary emotion indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person who was gonna shoot beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper. Bet you wish to squeak the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun." And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot. It was more or less at the same time, Guff. Give me that gun. Bam. Kind of thing. Kind of thing. Yes, a career in acting very tragically missed. Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck. But everything went dead quiet. After that, we done a slap-a-dash job tidying the place up. God damn it. Lummy didn't have to give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter would come out of the door and get us next. Oh wait. A second. He was holding a gun? But she was holding his gun. Wait, wasn't she holding the gun? How the fuck was he holding the gun as well?
Objection.
Ah, shit, I fucked up. Well, whoops. Well, I fuck up. Okay, let's just keep going.
Hold it.
So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Not in your life. He went definitely quiet after Daddy did. It went up and quiet after Daddy did, but put the wind right up me. But anyway, the door was locked, wasn't it? No way that was opening. Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside, or so we've been led to believe. It was, yup, it was. From the inside. Right, so we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like through the keyhole, or a spy hole, perhaps. Don't ring no bells, don't like no lights. You have to count them around before you notice anything like that. Still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day, we'll literally cut the mustard. Please cut it out. But as we know, behind the door was the victim's lifeless body. The accused not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. Gina was in there, unconscious, with the gun in her hand. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the store? That's right, Gup, that's right. Couldn't have, even if we don't want to. Back where we found it and scuppered straight into him in the black. Yeah. Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Erlock Sholmes. Oh, yeah. We was a bit hasty there. We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when y'all lot turned up. If you're shaking like a leaf... Nope. Whoop. If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand. Good advice, miss. Good advice. Truth be told, be mine when totally blank. Before your mind goes totally blank, be sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Mental nutmegs. After that, we let it down the street, but apparently we looked dodgy to the coppers or summit. So they clapped the derbies on us like winking. And after you'd been uncuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct? Well, yeah. But listen, that proves it done it, eh? That proves it done it, eh? We couldn't have shot the prom worker, see? We never even had a chance, did we?
Hold it!
And why should we believe that? Eh? What? Well, 'cause it's true, ain't it? That place was totally empty when we went in. At that time, the victim was already in the store, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his head. In other words, on the night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Wynn. Correct. You got it, mister. Down to a T. So the Skulking Bros never actually encountered Mr. Winbank. Is that really true, I wonder? That's not, because that's it? That's the full extent of their testimony. What is it, Bruno? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired. Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. In such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh, but I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. Something more than a feeling, though. I've no proof to support it. Well, feelings can be very logical at times. Sorry. Those expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You take it all that in your brain will quietly analyze and come up with a feeling that you describe. Knowing that there's something special about the test without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts. Iris, thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. Jesus Christ. Okay, I think it's got to do with this, but what is it I'm missing here? Wait, didn't they just say they couldn't see it? You're lying. You literally saw him. Wait a second. How do I prove this though? Like, trying to press C. I think it has to do with this, so he should have just fired. So they saw this. Right? Ow. Maybe the power plants? They couldn't have... fuck me. God, I'm doing a terrible job. What am I missing? I am missing something. Like, I understand, like, the whole point is, like, how could they have known this if they had not seen it? Right? But What the hell do you do this? Oh my god, how the hell was this part? How do you do this? Not what I, how the hell was this part? What is the logic here? Because we already have the info. Like, the whole point is like, I'm not understanding this wrong, right? Like, that it's like, how to explain? It's brain cells, please. What is it? Wait. Could it be... Wait a second. Maybe the photograph? Maybe this? But... Wait, he had no... Maybe this? I don't know at this point. Okay, that worked. Fine. Fair enough, I guess. I mean, I thought the gun would be enough, but I guess not. So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windyback, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You've got the picture. He has, now she has. No question. No question. Yeah, that's right. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windybank was not holding a firearm of any description. You what? Gordon Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection.
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I will remind the court that Mr. Windybank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. Yeah, no, they're missing. Oh well. Yeah, that Tooler used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun. Bam. Bam. Can your face.
Hold it.
Stay exactly where you are. Right there. Eh. The crime had taken place as you so powerfully described in your testimony. It would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. Goodness, are you sure, Counsel? You intrigue me, my learned friend. Let's see some evidence to pursue your claim. Where is the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments? The crime scene photo itself, right? Isn't it like, shows the single point wound in the man's back? It's supposed to be on his back, right? So why would it doesn't make sense, right? According to their testimony, the witness claims to have heard a shadow of "Give me the gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to. Yes, that's right. Now, that testimony is true. It would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attack would have been facing each other. However, if I could ask the court to study the photograph of the victim's body again, you can clearly see that Mr. Windyback was in fact shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Yeah, but it's the God's honest truth. It is that shit, yeah. It is that shit is. When he was shot that night? The shopkeeper had the gun in his hand. We saw with our own bleeding eyes. Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Windyback holding a gun. Something like that might have slipped out. Ooh, information that even Van Zeeks wasn't aware of. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulking Bars must have encountered the victim in person. Nash, Oh god, that looks exceptionally 2D. Order! 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 Witnesses, explain yourselves at once. Well, the thing is, you weren't supposed to, It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the deaf. Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your unusual testimony with renewed lies? Ever so sorry, Governor. Truth is, we cut it out, Nash. Cut it out. Wait, Blamp, now you know what you'll do to us. He? Who are they talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you. Bruv, come on. Game's up. But you'll have our guts for garters. In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well, do we have to? On the pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. You lie again! You're basically, I'm pretty sure it's the death penalty at this point. Counter with the victim. Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a single relief when the geezer showed his mug. Give me that gun, he bellowed. And then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it. For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. Checked me over the counter. I pulled my gun on him, and then he legged it. He threw that door into the back room. We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear. That's all what happened, I swear.
So you're still now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the store, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop?
Well, yeah. Sorry.
Well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably.
But honest, Governor, this time, Nash, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide.
Very well. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. Time to rip them to shreds. Counter with the victim.
Hold it!
A sigh of relief. When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and proprietor of the shop, Mr. Windyback. Who else? Sorry, I mean, that's right. We was keeping a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. But we never thought no one was gonna come out the back room like that. The back room being the pawnbrokery storeroom. Yeah, that must be where it popped up from. Only place it could have been.
So it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises.
Which means Gina must have been in there at that point as well. But that doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Windyback into the storeroom with her at gunpoint, then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? Oh, I don't know.
That's weird. Did you see the accused at that time?
What? That Mold Tiller couldn't tell you.
No way, Cobber. We had bigger fish to fry then. I mean, the old gizzard just lost it. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it.
Hold it!
Holy shit. You mentioned that Mr. Windybank shouted those words in your previous testimony too. However, you claim that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door.
Oh, did we?
But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he?
Well, yeah.
Was the victim, Mr. Windybank, wielding a gun at the time?
What's he ever? Blimey lummy. A great ugly barrel he had, pointed straight at me frontispiece.
So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Windybank with the gun at that time. Is that right?
It is, Gabi, is spot on. Then all of a sudden he came at us, he did. It was Bedlam. I didn't know who was going for whom. I didn't know who was going for who.
You were clearly all going for each other.
Like Dash said, we thought we had it. I mean,
for an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over to the counter. Yes, I know that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too.
well, yeah, of course we did.
He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot.
That got tangled in some marionette. What knocked over a picture frame? What knocked them skulls on the floor?
So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter.
Well, Big Bro here went flying over that counter like a gunshot, I can tell you. Then the old gizzard pinned him. He did that shit, did. If he hadn't been there, the bloke would have left me like a blooming pancake in seconds.
I feel so wrong, Freya. At the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via a secret cable from the bond. There is a button under the counter used to activate, which was presumably pressed by the victim.
That's right. When the brothers fled the scene and came back onto the street, they were straight to the arriving police, didn't they? Poor Mr. Windybank. He did everything he could to protect his shop.
Pulled me gun on him and then he legged through that door into the back room. Oh? Were you intending to shoot Mr. Windybank?
Okay. Nah. Never. I was just, you know. Looking up for me, bro, weren't I? He was being flattened, don't forget.
By a man whose shop was being burgled.
Yes.
And then, the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed your gun at him. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away, then ran off through that door and shut himself in.
There's something about that last remark. That doesn't quite... Wait.
Not fled into the store when you point your gun at him, is that it? Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away and ran...
I mean, quite true.
I wonder why Mr. Windybank ran away into the storeroom.
What?
Well, according to what everyone's saying, Jeannie was in there waiting for him with a gun.
Ah. Yes, that's right.
Tina allegedly used Mr. Windybank's gun to threaten him and forced him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Windybank's hands again?
I have no idea, but that is strange, isn't it?
Still inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it.
Yep. Look, point is, me and me bruv here. That's right, that's me and me bruv here. We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear.
I should remember what they said, though.
You say you had nothing. So the thing we should remember is right here. The whole point, because why would you run back? Nothing at all. Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old geezer went and shut himself in the back room, didn't he? Oh god, I feel bad. Look, there was from the inside. We know it was because we tried to open it. But it's a decent door, that one, good and strong. 1 bunch an inch.
So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom of the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Ah,
It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, counsel?
I don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gino who could possibly have shot Mr. Windyback? I mean, there is one technical chance. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Let's be fair, there was. Remember, he technically turned his back to them. They had the gun. I know technically the gun has only fired 1 bullet. That bullet was the one shot at Mr. Sholmes, but technically... What? What? What that look for? From the moment you admitted that you encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of the trial changed completely. It did. It did.
What is your point? I learned from...
The question we must answer is, who could have shot Mr. Windyback? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all.
You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts, so pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be? Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect to two conundrums.
Two, my lord. Twice as many chances to be right, maybe? Or twice as many chances to be wrong.
Indeed, namely, from what location did the couple shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time?
Understood, my lord. Are you alright, Bruno? I'm not entirely sure, but there's one thing I am sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely.
So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answer to the questions posed by his lordship. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate where that person could have fired the gun.
Well, realistically, you could have fired the gun from here. Like, outside the door. Remember, there is a little spy hole there. The defense believes that the could have shot the victim from this location here.
And in answer to the second question, assuming the culprit fired from the location, where was the victim at the time?
Inside the storeroom. Remember, there is a little spy hole that remember, at the beginning of the case, Ryonosuke, to see what happened inside, looked through a spy hole. So realistically, there. Ta-da. The couple shot the victim from outside the storeroom.
Continue.
Mr. Windybank died instantly from a wound in his back. Looking at the state of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after that, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired?
So are you adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom?
Well, according to the Skulking brothers' earlier testimony, I pulled my gun on him, and then he legged it through that door into the back room. Mr. Winniebank ran away through the door. We have to assume that the door was open at the time.
Oh.
It was at precisely that moment, when the victim was fleeing for his life, that these brothers had a perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom.
Nah.
Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial?
Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself.
Poor man, shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety.
Ah, of course. He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered his body on an upward trajectory.
Should a couple isn't necessarily something shorter than Mr. Winniebank.
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. Claim the victim was shot as he fled into the room. You also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock.
Ah, but, what if someone else locked the door? Yes, there was someone else who could have locked the storeroom door.
Is that so?
Yep, Gina.
Very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the store. In which case, who shut the lock and locked the storeroom door from the inside?
Gina. Hello, she wasn't there. Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That's absurd. You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the seal. For what possible reason? Such actually served to tie a noose around her neck. I am inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel.
Yes, that's a tricky one, that, isn't it?
Half-baked should have no place in my country, counsel. Remember that.
But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? It does. Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two brothers had just fired a gun in their direction, hadn't they?
Oh yes, obviously.
Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Winniebank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at the time, but at some point, Mr. Winniebank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom. Intruders, that's Brad.
If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the store.
Yes, it would. Then probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Bang. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Winback fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment? I see where you're going with this. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Windybank. So as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
I mean, it's very normal. But I ain't. I mean, we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't. You gotta believe us. I mean, come on. We'd never shoot no one. Bullshit. That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would. Because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Yep. There is only one logical conclusion there. Here. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Windybank's murder. Ah, Oof. Where does this leave us? You mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all? No, it was those three brothers. They look shitty as a dense forest. That was amazing, Bruno. All the members of this seem to be firmly on your side now. I know. First time ever. And probably the last. Well, if you've done it, surely they'll have to give a verdict of not.
An admirable effort, my learned friend.
What's this now? He has been very quiet. He's laughing.
You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zeeks. I myself find the defense side was most persuasive. I dare say. Such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. Such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here.
What?
The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly credibly cannot and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw.
A fatal flaw?
Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failure?
I say, Lord Van Zeeks. Might be an idea to explain this ballet conjuring trick or whatever it is to troops on the ground, hmm?
The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand.
Yeah, there's a flaw. And we kind of made it ourselves. Remember, these two only shot one bullet out of their gun. So, they definitely shot Erlock Sholmes, so how could they have But if they had shot Mr. Windybank as well, there would have been 2 bullets used from that same gun, which it didn't. So, shit.
Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets.
By George, count bullets! Oh dear. You noticed then. Uh-huh. What's everyone talking about? Ryunosuke, come on, buddy.
Counsel.
Yes, sir.
Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime.
2. 2 bullets.
Correct. The first that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second that which struck the detective, Mr. Erlock Sholmes, on his arrival at the scene. Indeed, the defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet early in the proceedings. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar. Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Windybank, and the Skulkin brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each. Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Erlock Sholmes right before your eyes.
Yes, I did. Oh my goodness, I think you'll find that if the single bullet that was fired from the brothers get hit Mr. Sholmes, it means Windybank not shot the same gun. Stop. Only 1 bullet. Stop. 1 second, Jack. Sorry about that.
Exactly. Yes, this Nippon street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny.
Ah! Ah! Ah. God damn it.
Order! Order! Order!
Just yeet. Just literally grab the white ball, just yeet.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hollow nectar into the public gallery. Lord Van Zeeks. But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can, regrettably, no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbroker on the night in question with loathsome intent. As we can see beyond the doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victims with the murder. And I have here in my possession one more piece of them the prosecution wishes to present.
That disc.
I'll be taking that whatever it is, I'll McGill is out to the yard. Thank you very much.
No, don't. Don't give it to him. It's mine, that is. Mine.
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGill it has to be taken in as evidence now.
Yes, the music box disc. McGilda's music box disc.
The very day the hateful murder of Mr. Windyback, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to him. And with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence. Good gracious. Good gracious. Make no mistake. Any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which the girl will not stoop if pushed, no crime she would not commit. The court forgets that fact at its peril. I see. It would be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence, counsel. It's a grim testament of the defendant's character.
Lord Van Zeeks, What was that voice? Oh, Lord Van Zeeks, Inspector Gregson? What?
Yes, Inspector.
We had a meeting yesterday at the yard of the prosecutor's office, and, I think it was agreed that this wouldn't be used as evidence. What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zeeks at all.
I am unaware of any such meeting.
But those were the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent.
Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh boy. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord. Indeed. Bailiff.
Oh.
The prosecution has established the accused's motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case.
Gregson is not exactly happy about this. I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once, for all 5 minutes. Oh dear, it wasn't even for 5 minutes, you know.
My lord, what if I might say something at this point? Proceed, Mr. Foreman. It's only about in a bit of a fog up to now. If truth be told, well, all of a sudden, the answer's barely obvious to me in my mind. It's all in one thing for it. Oh no, not again. Oh no. Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings as to the defendant's composition. Yeah.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Oh my god, he's the head again. Well, we're back to being guilty again. We have a consensus among the jury, it seems. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
That's my line. I wrote that for early. Ah, how dare you use it against us?
Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be. Because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina did not shoot Mr. Windyback. That's beyond any doubt. Very well. We still proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you and your jurors ready?
Of course, primary for action, sir.
Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. Here we go again. One more time through this hell. Yay, yay. The jurors' contentions. Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say. They were made into us law-abiding citizens.
As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted. You don't need a stethoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket. I never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief. Such grief. The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead.
I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns.
God, none of these answer shit. Maybe the second jurors, yes, but the other ones are like,
It would seem there is little remaining room for doubt.
I have to admit, I was rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black. But when that fell apart like a house of cards, I saw that I'd jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more.
The whole courtroom is staring against me.
It's not fair, Iris. The prosecutor's being mean. It's because Jeannie's done some things she shouldn't have done in the past. This doesn't make her a murderer.
Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here's to the truth coming out, eventually. Here we go again. That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination.
Yes, my lord.
Oh my god, there's the freaking... the 2 other ones. Defense is reviewed all.
Well, let's press.
Just because Miss Lestrade has a history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder, is that what you're saying?
Ah, well.
Are all members of the British Army so quick to judge?
I beg your pardon.
And you mark Your Majesty's Armed Forces, the greatest military organization in the world. No, I'm simply illustrating my point. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or a pickpocket is wrong and dangerous.
Well, yes, might have a point there, I suppose. Let's not forget the girl had already shown she had it in her from before. It's clearly a criminal star through and through. Can't deny it.
When you say that she'd shown she had it in her, are you referring to this?
Exactly. Tried to swap that only a day earlier, or am I mistaken? Not exactly. Given that I was actually there at this time, it's hard to refute that. I've never actually seen the real thing. I can't wait to have a closer look at it. Oh yes, of course. Never got to see it, did we? Mr. Shulmans did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the disc, didn't he? And then ordered every type of music box he could find from across Europe. We still don't know what tune it plays for, do we? And I'd love to see how the original compares to Early's copy.
A gilded disc. Could it be a clue somehow? Jail his wife, we can't be sure he will be on our side. Yeah, being fair, yeah. Also, hey, Sawad, how you doing? Oh yeah, we should examine this now that we have it, shouldn't we? There is a blood stain there.
Oh, Bruno, look. This is blood.
Hey, you. Yes, you're right. Just a small spear, but definitely blood. Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before.
Then it's my time to shine again. I thought I'd be waiting forever. Alright, let's do that disc, Bruno.
Can we get this done quickly, Iris?
In a flash.
Let's see what we get. Should be purple, right?
Huh? Oh, a lovely bright shade again.
Wait. That color. Wait a second. There was only one person wounded, wasn't there? Does this... How is... That's not Mason's color, is it?
What is it?
It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? Plus 744 has been updating the court record. And we have the miss. 1 second, chat. 1 hour of loneliness after your mods abandon you. How's progress? Well, progress is going. I mean, we are going through the case pretty well at this point. We're kind of, well, not exactly. We're kind of in a shit fest because our previous possibility was completely discredited in less than 5 minutes. And now we're trying to figure out another way. However, this... So, we have Mr. Mason's blood, which makes sense where it was. That's Mr. Mason's blood. However, we still have an unknown green blood that, by the looks of it, was not only shot over here, it also was in this disc. Which makes no sense. However, I have an idea of who it is now. Because on the day, I'm pretty sure that on the day where there was like where Gina where Gina went to grab this disc, right? Oh no. It's okay, there's an explanation for this. It's not the blood. It's like we used Iris's gun has a property where it changes the color of the blood to these other colors, and this other color identifies what person it comes from. Kind of like a change because everyone's blood is different, so it basically changes color depending on the blood's property. So yeah, that's about it. So basically, the blue blood belonged to the victim, the purple blood belonged to a victim of another case, and now we have the green blood, which we still have not identified who it belongs to. Obviously, all the blood is actually red, it's just the coloring. It's just a coloring change from our gun. Perhaps, yep, yes we did. We got something now. It's only 2 bullets found us. I would say the whole place is done and shut.
Hold it!
It's the number of bullets that has you convinced.
Only 2 bullets were fired.
And the 2 guns aren't the point we go back in time to get rid of those easy autopsy. Yeah, easy autopsies. Ha 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 ha. Not really. I don't know, man. Like, this is a complete... I have no idea. I truly have just no idea.
Only 2 bullets were fired, and 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlor maid asked me how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although, yes. Sometimes after dining, crockery goods go missing. One or two guests rather like to find china. Does your employer dine with thieves? So I suppose. If there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I'd have to reconsider my position. Oh! Wait a second. Maybe we can prove this, but not yet. Yeah, you'll be fine, don't worry. I don't think we got ghosts or lie detectors yet, thankfully. You'll be fine. Probably not. Unfortunately, only two bullets were discovered by the police during their investigation. Yes, I know. Right. I don't imagine a good man of Scotland Yard would have overlooked anything. I missed a bullet while I was cleaning his lordship's office. Well, should receive a sound scolding, I know now. And he should receive a visit from the police, perhaps. It sounds like a crime scene to me. A third bullet. It would completely turn things around if there was one, wouldn't it? You think we might find one lying around somewhere? Yes, but not yet, I think. I'm not gonna present anything there yet because I'm not sure. Plus, I already took 2 failures right now, so I prefer not. Next one. So, if I've understood correctly, you need 2 pictures, a left eye one and a slightly different right eye one. Oops. Exactly, then you can see the scene in 3 dimensions. Like this. So, if we have 2 bullets, I don't suppose you can see anything useful with them. I think you'll find that no matter how much you squint, the truth of the situation always looks the same here. The only person who could have shot the victim is that girl in the dark. Can you be so sure of that? Think about it. Skulking Brothers shot the great detective, didn't they? Yes, that's been mentioned once or twice. Well then, surely it's coming into focus now, isn't it? This is a waste of time. I'm not going to change this man's mind anytime soon. Yep, that one's a lost cause. Meanwhile, he's still thinking about this. Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it has nothing to do with this trial, on this. Huh? I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet simply vanished from his stomach. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think? Wait, what? I almost don't want to ask, but this surgery you've been muttering about all this time, you were operating on. What was the fellow's name now? Erlich? No. Erlock? No. Erlock? Erlock Sholmes by any chance? Yes. Yes, good lord. It was that Erlock fellow. What? You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes. I am noob enough to save all these mistakes. Hey man, it wouldn't be... I could do that realistically, but let's be fair, that wouldn't be no fun now, would it? Chat, there would be no fun. That's right. Using the very latest anesthesia technique, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can tell you. This is crazy. Let me see, the fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. They said he'd been shot by some criminal order, so I opened him up like a shot. Funny thing is, I went over his inside with a fine-tooth comb. I couldn't find a bullet anywhere, so I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fellow back up. My god almighty. I hate to state the obvious, but... yes. Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting. The counsel for the defense is correct. As clearly shown in the photographic print, the bullet that the skulking brought fired Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region, then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the door. I think you'll find it's really quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally. Who do you think I am, son? Well, juror number 4 is about the best I can do. Why should I just show the wound on the man's stomach? I flipped him over. Like a pancake. Are you saying that you checked his back? Of course I did. And there wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that the bullet had left the body at all. What? Oh! Oh. That means there's a chance, chat. What this means is very simple. There's a chance it might have actually not been him. That bullet in the calendar is not the one that was shot at Mr. Holmes, meaning there's not 1, there's not 2, but 3 shots were fired that day. That's the point. The only logic was that the bullet was still somewhere in the man's innards. This is exactly why I said about splicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser even now. How many times do I have to say it? Someone please explain how it happened. Someone please solve the mystery. It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together. But now we got something. So... that means we can... Can we pit this against juror number 2? Does this work? Oh, shit. I fucked up. Don't you know my chap? Oh wait, that contradicted one another. I concur. This former rule friend personal jury based on solely frustrations comes. That's down to 2 chances now. I give it a shot. I should have been more careful. There are a lot of questionable candidates gathered in this squad. You might... Yes, and press them on anything that's a... Oh right, I had the thing with the bullet thing. Damn it! I did this wrong. I should not have pitted them against each other. Okay, let's press this one next. What do you mean you're in for a busy day? Forgot to say stop. You excuse me, stop. I am a communications officer, stop. A communications officer? Does that have something to do with sending telegrams? Everything from personal messages written by members of the public to the latest news in the capital. I convert all the messages into Morse code and tap it out to the entire world electronic. To the entire world? Thousands of miles of cable under sea, stop. Worldwide communication network, stop. Information to and from all corners of globe, stop. Ah, yes. She was getting equally worked out on radio waves, or the like before, wasn't she? I specialize in communicating information from government bars and newspaper offices. I see. I'm sure I shall have to wire the newspaper reports of today's guilty verdict later. So no sleep for me tonight, I imagine? Bleh. Let's just finish the trial first, shall we? Well, that got us nowhere, did it? Well, you're my best bet, buddy. I thought you were just a tourist. Good day. Good day. Good day. I am visiting London for sights. I would like to take a bus to Crystal Tower. There's no way he's just a visiting tourist. So, you're a ballistics expert. Who knew? I have much experience with guns. Ah. I have lived through many, how do you say, extreme, violent, blood of, extreme violent bloodbaths, perhaps? Those. Extreme violent bloodbaths. English is very difficult tongue. Consider the sort of people you associate with. I'm surprised you still have a tongue. Anyway, if you have questions about bullets and guns, you ask me. There is nothing I do not know. No mystery I cannot solve. Better Collins' knowledge of guns, that's for sure. But, if possible, please, only in a Russian language. Not very Company's knowledge of English, though, is he? Nope, still we should bear it in mind. He's our man if there's a mystery about guns. There we go! That's where I made a mistake. I should have pressed the others first. Van Zeeks has managed to convince everyone. When you have eliminated the impossible, he said, but he hasn't. But he hasn't. We're going to fight back, we need more material, and we have to fight back. We have to turn this trial around again. Okay, let's go. Well, he did say he will resolve the mystery. Those two statements clearly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other. Oh, a ballistics expert. That was hilarious. Those two statements clearly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other. Lol. Pitting. P-I-T. On the night in question, Mr. Scholl was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. But since there was no sign of an accident on his back, we must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholm's body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6. Hello, my name is the villain. Pleased to meet you. This apparent contradiction in the facts that is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery? I have seen a very similar situation in Mother. Oh? It was night. There was a blizzard. I was running away along Mountain Road in freezing cold. Golly. Snow was falling high on both sides of the road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles and they were on dog scents. Mental note, don't ask too many questions. I was shot from behind and I fell down in snow. This situation was very similar to what I heard here today from doctor. They could not find bullet in my body and no sign of, how do you say, exit. Then where did the bullet go? Bullet never hit me. Well, if it never hit you, why did you fall down? Bullet hit frozen wall of ice very close to my side. What? One small piece, very sharp, broke away from lump of ice and pierced my body. It made deep wound that looks just like bullet wound. Oh, good gracious. Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside me. And that is solution to mystery of disappearance. Huh. But that doesn't answer the question at all. Shooting happened in a bone broker show. Not some snowy mountain road in our country. Just an idea. But we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. Bruno, where exactly was your early shot again? Well, according to the report, in his stomach, sort of around this area, I think. So around here. Down here. Well, that's precisely why he always wears a little pouch on his belt. A pouch? Actually, I might have noticed something like that. Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps the pre-glass files of every dangerous criminals that he uses in his investigations. What? Really? Doctor, where is the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing? Well, the fellow had nothing like that on his person when you arrive at the hospital, as far as I remember. If I may. Lord Van Zeeks? While I realize it is forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summation examination, I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the court. Sorry? Oh. As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound. Thank goodness. I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment. Since then, it has been in my safekeeping, along with all other evidence relating to the case. I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred. Very well. While I'm surely unconventional during a submission examination, must demand the prosecution presents the item in question falsely.
Bring forth Mr. Little Sholmes' pouch. Mr. Sholmes? I see. So this is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes on the night in question, is it? Look at that! One of the files is broken, and the letter around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the file exploded. Exploded? So, I cannot see... Oh, shit. Can I... show it? Oh, you mean the abdomen bit, like around this area. Yoink! There we go. There we go. Not sure if that was the bit or if it's the vial, but the vial one I can't bring back right now. So that night, the bullet from the Skulkin Brothers gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. It was the glass file exploding that caused the fellow's injury. The bullet did not penetrate the victim, but was affected into a wall of shock. Okay, chat. A delightfully complex room. Okay, chat. Chat, we're gonna have to do a little save here right now. Because I'm gonna go have my lunch now. It's now time for my lunch. So I'm gonna be stopping the stream for now, for the lunch, as per usual. And we will restart the stream in around an hour or so. Okay? Ouch. Yeah, bad timing, I'd say. I know, bad timing, but it is what it is. Anyways, chat, I will see you. I'm gonna go have lunch, and then we'll keep going with more of the Grace history. Sorry for bad. No, it's not because of the joke. It is actually lunchtime. I do have to actually have lunch now. Thank you. You have a good one as well. I'll see you guys in about 1 hour or so. I'll restart the scene. Have a good one. In a while.